All right, we'd like to welcome 13-time PGA Tour winner and defending champion of the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson, Jason Day, into the interview room here. I guess we'd start by saying, last year, now that you've had a year to look back on it, what was the most memorable moment for you winning the tournament last year?
Obviously everything, when you think about it, always comes back down to like the stretch of holes, playing with Siwoo, and how well he played coming down the stretch, and then getting up and down, obviously just here on 18 for birdie, with the rain coming in. But it's nice to be able to look back and reflect on that and think about the good memory, especially playing the back nine today in the Pro-Am.
What was it like for you, the feeling like after a winless stretch from quite a period, but to actually get that win under your belt, and how did you celebrate that night or the next week?
I didn't celebrate. I typically don't celebrate after a win, which is kind of weird, but kind of get home and I'm already exhausted, but just typically go home and just rest up and just kind of reflect on everything. But like you said, 5 years is a long time between wins. A little too long if you ask me, but I don't know, it was kind of strange. Like I had a lot of good finishes leading up to that event, or this event last year to win. I just knew that something good was going to happen around the corner, and obviously it did. So I guess we live kind of in a fishbowl as players, because we live week to week, and then a person wins, and then we're talking about the next guy that wins, and it kind of goes on from there. So once the week happened, it was nice to be able to finally get that win after 5 years, but like my mindset was like pretty much quickly onto the next tournament, and it's unfortunate because you want to kind of wins, especially these days, with how tough it is. Some guys make it look easy, like Scotty, but it's very difficult to come by those wins.
And let's just come back to the present. You've just seen the golf course this morning,
yep.
And just talk about if there's any changes that you've noticed from last year, and how's your form coming in?
I don't think there's changes. The course is soft just because we've had some rain. I would think that we're going to play probably the ball in hand the whole week. That's what I would think, especially with because we're still getting some mud balls out there now, and I know that we had some rain maybe Saturday last week, but from what we're looking at weather-wise, we've kind of got some bad weather coming in tomorrow. So hopefully we can kind of get through that day, and then hopefully the rest of the week kind of opens up. But in regards to my play, I hadn't been that happy with it or that pleased with it. My short game has been great. My putting's been great. And off the tee's been great. The iron play has been kind of letting me down. So just kind of working on a few things with Chris to try and like alleviate some of the stress and pressure that the iron play's kind of putting on the rest of my game. And I feel like I've kind of turned a corner now, which has been great.
We'll take some questions for Jason. If you have one, just raise your hand, and we'll start with Paul over on this side. Thanks.
Check. All right. Hey, Jason. Just wondering what the win did last year for your mental in terms of either eradicating some self-doubt or just sparking some confidence for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird. Like, I mean, just golf is a funny game, not only physically but mentally as well. And especially where I've been, like, I've been to the top of the mountain before, and then to be where I was, during that 5-year span of like, do I really want to push enough, kind of push through this and get through the pain of it all. But it was great to finally see all the work that I've been working on pay off. And I remember talking to someone about this, and I said, like, I keep projecting myself forward, saying that I'm going to be talking about, finally after so many years, I finally got that win. And it's amazing how mentally tough this game can be. And I would always say to myself that if I can talk myself into a bad shot, I can talk myself out of a bad shot. You know what I mean? Because it's human nature to start to feel down and feel guilty for yourself. So I just kept on saying to myself, it's only a short period of time. Even though 5 years is a long time in a career, it's only a short period of time. It's going to happen. You got to just keep working through it. And ultimately, it happened here last year, which was fantastic.
Was it more a sense of relief to win, or was it like adulation?
Really none of the above. It was like, I think, at the time when I won, it may have been a little bit more relief, but I don't know. I'm so caught up in kind of building towards something, I think at the time when I was right before, last year, and I was playing some nice golf, I was playing golf for the wrong reasons, I thought. I feel like looking kind of in the future and understanding that golf is like, more of a marathon, and like it's a long career if you want it to be, kind of playing from more of a position of like love and passion of the game is, I think, far healthier to play from than having like a chip on your shoulder, because it's easy to find motivation when you have a chip on your shoulder, because like people are talking against you and all that stuff. And there's certain players that play really well with that, but I feel like that's a short, limited period of time that can happen. When there's guys that play from, a good position of balance and love, and you're looking at, Scotty Scheffler right now is playing some of the best golf that we've seen in a very long time, probably since the Tiger days. He seems like a very well-balanced person, and that's like very difficult to do. And for me personally, I'm just trying to find that kind of balance in amongst professional life and personal life, business, and everything that comes along with being a professional golfer. So it's difficult, but, I feel like, these days this is not my first rodeo. I've been out here 17 years now. So I feel like, I'm still learning, and I'll never stop learning. It'll always evolve, and I'll try and get better at it.
And just on a different topic, the Olympics coming up this summer, you're in pole position to be in one of those spots. Just wondering what it means to finally get the opportunity to be able to do that, and what you're looking forward to.
Yeah, and I think probably looking back on it, I wish I would have gone to Rio. Had one of those spots, and at the time we were having kids, and then obviously there was that scare down. So it was just like, I was kind of like a little bit freaked out about that. But, I think I wish I would have gone. But if I get the opportunity to go and represent the country, my country, Australia, and get to go to Paris, that would be an absolute blast. It would be an honour to be able to do that. And be able to call yourself an Olympian would be even better. But yeah, if I get the opportunity, I'm 100% going.
Take one in the front here. Just while we're on that subject of team golf, Jason, the President's Cup is this year later in Canada. There's a lot of players in this field that are international team members that are eligible. How motivated are you to get back on that team?
Yeah, we got a couple of team events. I think Mike is doing a great job with. I didn't go to the team dinner last night because it was my wife's birthday yesterday, so they let me.
Happy birthday!
Yeah,
Ella.
let me. Yeah, so happy birthday, Ella. But Mike's been a great captain so far. I think, with the current vice captains that we have a lot of experience. I think he's doing all the right things. He's had success there in the past. And we're trying to do as much as we can to get the local crowd on our side as a home team. And then I think, the Canadian guys that are on the team as well right now are jacked to play. So it's all coming together now, which is good. So we'll see how it goes.
Good. Take one from the front here.
As big as last year's win was for you, this was also the tournament for your first win, and I know the venue's changed a couple of times since then, but based on it being the first place that you won on tour, what has this tournament meant to you?
Well, I lived, in the DFW area for a couple of years. I've always enjoyed the people here. I grew up on, not like grass like this, but I grew up on Bermuda grass, so you kind of get that a lot here. I didn't grow up in too much wind, but what I've noticed, I've had like a lot of success here in Texas. you know, from the Los Colinas golf course that we played to this one as well. I always find it funny to think there's, you know, 13 years between my first and my last win, which is, like, I always wonder, like, where the time went. But it's nice to be able to come back to a place that I've had success, that I know, and whether that's, you know, here or Los Colinas or around Texas, I've always enjoyed playing here in Texas.
And one other part about that 2010 win, it was also when Jordan kind of set the world on fire as a 16-year-old here. What do you remember about that? And was there any part of you after you won that was like, hey, I won?
Yeah, I mean, Jordan, like, he was 16 and doesn't look too different to what he looks like now, actually, to be honest. Still baby face. He played with a good buddy of mine, David Luderis, who was on the tour at the time, Australian guy. And I just remembered, like, being in my own little world, but I'm like, who is this amateur, you know, junior that's playing this week and playing really well? Because he played obviously really well, and obviously not too far after that, then he kind of lit the world on fire with, you know, 3 quick major championships, you know, in 2015. So it's like kind of nice. But it was, Jordan's been a good friend for a while now, and it's been good to see the success that he's had, and I get the opportunity to play with him the first 2 rounds this week. So I'm excited about that, because it just reminds you of the old school times of playing in 14, 15, and 16 against him when he was, you know, the top. You know, he was number 1 in the world, and it was really tough to beat that guy.
We'll wrap it up with Haley.
Scotty and Meredith Scheffler are expecting their first. As father of 5, do you have any words of advice on how to handle fatherhood, or even juggling a playing career?
Oh boy, no. Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy for Scotty and Meredith. I think this is going to be a whole new world that's going to open up. It's going to be for the better, because you won't even remember the time before when you had no kids, and the pure enjoyment that you get from having kids is there's nothing like it. The stress that you get from having kids is nothing like it. So it's going to be a lot of fun for him. He's going to have to adjust a little bit. It took me a year to really adjust to being a father. I couldn't find my identity in being a father because of how selfish this game can be. And once I found that out, and I could understand it a little bit more, that's when I started becoming like a better father. And all I'm trying to do is just like really, really shape my kids into people that I think that would be good citizens and good people that would somehow help, you know, the future. So yeah, I don't know. Like, we've had, you know, 3 kids in hospital, 2 at home, you know, as a home birth. So it's like all over the shop. Yeah, I think family comes first, golf, then health. And as long as family comes first, that's all that matters.
All right, Jason, we appreciate your time. Good luck defending your time.
Thank you.